Hey guys, my name is Haley, and I do have headphones in because I'm going to be doing my audiobook Try a Chapter, which I wasn't planning on posting these both in like a week of each other with my physical TBR and my audiobook edition, but that's what ended up happening because I'm about to go on a trip and I wanted to pick out some audiobooks beforehand. I will start off by saying I do already have one audiobook picked out that is going back to the library sooner than these other ones, so I am going to read that one during my trip, and that is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, I believe, which I have already started that. I'm only 10 or 15% into it, but I will be reading that one. But in this video, I'll be trying 5 other ones, and hopefully I'll be able to get some clips and show you which ones they are. And let's get into that right now. So yeah, those are all of the audiobooks that I have out right now. 2 of them, which is Macbeth and The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, are for Theaterthon, which starts next Thursday, which I will still be gone. That starts during my trip and then runs for a week, so I won't get to those until at least next weekend. But I am going to try 5 of those. Probably not going to do some Frederick Bachman, at least not in this Try a Chapter. I'll probably listen to at least one of those audiobooks while I'm gone, but probably not on the train. So we're going to try out these other 5, and I believe we're going to start with trying a chapter of Record of a Spaceborne Few, which is the 3rd book in the Long Way to a Small and Great Planet trilogy. I believe it's a trilogy, which I really liked the first one. I didn't love the second one, so we'll see how this 3rd one goes.
William Morrow and Harper Audio present Record of a Spaceborne Few by Becky Chambers. Performed by Rachel DeLude.
Okay, that prologue was not completely done, but I had already been listening for 6 minutes, which really was only 3 or 4 minutes because I listened to audiobooks on 2 times speed, and I was intrigued enough. I liked the rest of the series, so I could definitely finish the series off very easily since I'm already in that world, which I only read the other 2 books a couple weeks ago, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go with that one. It depends on how the rest of these go. So I think next up will be Long Way Gone by Charles Martin, which I know Oshina loves Charles Martin, and I believe this one is her favorite of his, and it's a prodigal son retelling in I assume a contemporary form, so we're going to listen to that one next.
You're listening to the audio production of Long Way Gone by Charles Martin, published by Thomas Nelson, and read by Adam Verner. To everyone who's ever known the pain of watching a loved one walk away, and then stood on a porch staring down the road. And to every loved one who's reached the end of that road and turned around.
Okay, so that one was about 5 or 6 minutes on audio at 2 times speed. And it was interesting. I'm not in a super contemporary mood because I've actually been getting back into fantasy and urban fantasy, that type of thing lately, so I also don't really want to cry on a train, and this being a prodigal son retelling kind of worries me. So I feel like that's probably a no-go, but I do hope to read that one soon because I do need to read more Christian fiction. So if you have any Christian fiction recommendations, please leave them down below. I haven't read too many. I've read the Left Behind series, all million of them, and the prequels to that. But if you have any other random Christian fiction recommendations, please leave them down below because I will check them out because I need more of them. But yeah, I think we're going to move on to book number 3, which is going to be Penance, which is Kanae Minato's newer book. I read her other book last October, I believe, and I'm blanking on what it's called. But it was a thriller, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And it's definitely Asian fiction in the sense that it's not quite a American thriller. So it's less detailed, but somehow more scary. I don't know how to explain it. But I'm going to listen to the first chapter of that one. I suddenly remembered that her other book was called Confessions. Now I'm going to go listen to Penance.
Hachette Audio presents Penance, written by Kanaya Minato, translated by Philip Gabriel, read by Carissa Vacker.
Okay, that one was actually very interesting. So that's a contender up with Record of a Spaceborne Few. Mainly because it starts off with this girl going to like a new city. I think she's moving to Tokyo to go to school, and therefore is talking about the travel aspect of like going on a train. And that's what I will be taking tomorrow. And I've never been on a train. I think I've been on them like once or twice for like a little novelty ride, but not like an actual train that I'm gonna be on for like 12 hours. So I thought her comments on travel and how people in cities don't like particularly care who they're sitting by and don't pay attention to like other people on the train, which is kind of what I'm hoping is gonna happen. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in that one. I think that one's a little bit above the Becky Chambers books right now. And then, okay. So next up, I believe I have The Glass Sentence by something Grove, S.J. Grove, something like that, which is a middle grade, maybe a younger YA, I'm not sure, that I've wanted to read for forever because it's this world where each continent is its own time period, which I find that super fascinating. So I'm going to listen to the first chapter of that.
Penguin Random House Audio presents The Glass Sentence, Mapmakers, Book 1, by S.E. Grove, read for you by Cassandra Campbell. Publisher's note. This audiobook includes 3 maps, which can be viewed by opening the accompanying digital PDF file on any PC or Mac computer.
That one was like almost 8 minutes long, so that took a while, but I just find the concept of different continents being in different like time zones, like one's in the 17th century, one's in the 20th century, and some are set in the future, and that type of thing, super fascinating. And from the sounds of it, they don't really know what caused that disruption. So I am still very interested in that book. I just don't think I'm gonna read it on the train because I'm still very much on penance. And then I think I'm gonna try one more book. Like, I have Leviathan Wakes and The Eye of the World, which is the first book in the Wheel of Time series, out, but those are literally 20 plus hour audiobooks. And even at 2 times speed, that's like 10 hours, which is like my entire trip. So I would rather get like 2 shorter audiobooks done than just listen to a high fantasy or a high sci-fi for 10 hours while I'm like trying to do other things. So I think I'm gonna try A Man Called Uwe, however you pronounce it, by Frederick Bachman, because I do have his other 3 books out that I haven't read yet because I've been loving his books. And A Man Called Uwe is the shortest of the audios, so we're gonna try the first chapter of that one.
Dreamscape presents A Man Called Uwe by Frederick Backman, narrated by George Newbern. Chapter 1. A man called Uwe buys a computer that is not a computer. Uwe?
Oh my goodness, that entire first chapter was just a grumpy old man trying to buy a computer, and he doesn't know anything about technology, and it was very entertaining. So I think if I do get to like a second audiobook, I'll listen to that one. But I think I'm gonna go with Penance, which is not the one that I expected to go with, but I know Kane Minato's other book went really fast, so I think I'll be able to get through this audiobook pretty fast, even though I'll be starting with Good Omens when I get on the train. And hopefully I'll get at least Good Omens and Penance done on the train, and then the rest I will be listening to throughout the week whenever I get time to listen to audiobooks, basically. Also, I wanted to point out that I don't normally have this many audiobooks out. I normally have like maybe 2 or 3. So having like 10 or 11 out at a time is a lot for me. But I just really wanted like, 1, a pool to pick from while filming this video, and 2, I just want to have a bunch of audios at the ready for this trip because I don't really know how much reading I'm going to get done, but if I do have time to get a lot of reading done, then I have plenty of things to read from. So that was the plan. I doubt I'll read all of them in the next 2 weeks that I have most of them out, but hopefully we'll get to at least most of them and maybe be able to renew some. We'll see. But yeah, I still have those 2 longer ones of Leviathan Wakes and The Eye of the World that I could read if I'm in that kind of mood next week during this little vacation, but I sincerely doubt that. Although I do want to at least read The Eye of the World, because that is a physical TBR book of mine. So is Leviathan Wakes, but that's also a super long series. And I kind of just want to give The Eye of the World a chance. For those of you that have read the Wheel of Time series, please let me know if it's easy to get into. I did read like the first chapter or two way back, like I want to say last year or the year before in the physical edition, but I had like a little mass market paperback and it was just not fun to read from. So I think I'm going to do the audiobooks because I've heard really, really good things about them. But yeah, that was my try a chapter tag. I am going to go with Penance. So hopefully I enjoy that one and it's not too gruesome like parts of the other one were, because that would be embarrassing to be making weird faces on the train. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see all of you guys next time.